good advice, and she is very smart. Like you said, she's very
yeah,
smart and strong. And I do respect the fact that she's very herself.
I don't have to agree with a woman to make her a woman crush of the week. She is strong, she's smart, and she doesn't sit back in a corner and expect...
No.
And that's what I love about her.
Right, exactly.
I'm not...
And she is who she is, and I am very entertained to some of the portrayals of her on different TV shows. Like on Frasier, they had one. Oh my God, she was the best. The one that they had on Frasier. She came in as a radio talk show host, and she was like calling women, "You dumb slut." It was hilarious. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's Dr. Laura in her early days for sure.
So who is your woman crush?
My woman crush. This came across. I saw this on my friend Heidi's Facebook page, and I had actually never heard about her. So I'm so glad she posted this. So Elizabeth Holmes. So when she was a sophomore at Stanford, Elizabeth Holmes decided to transform diagnostic medicine. So she dropped out of college and used her tuition money to start her own company, Theranos. Anyway, what she's done, and this is very fascinating to me because she is, I work in a lab. I'm not clinical, but I work in a lab. She has created laboratory equipment that can run like 30 tests on one drop of blood. And because I work in a pediatric laboratory, the idea of this is amazing. I mean, could you imagine being able to run? So like, think about taking a tube of blood from the little babies, the little preemies.
Yeah.
You're like sucking all their blood out of them. If we could just do one little drop and get all those tests. And it's also, laboratory tests are expensive. I will never deny that. I work in the lab. They are extremely expensive. So her idea is also to just make it more cost effective for people so that people can, anyway, she's partnering with Walgreens.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So she's partnering with Walgreens. Her company, she's 31 years old now. Her
31?
Company, right?
I feel like I'm slacking.
I know. I read this stuff and I'm just like, wow. Her company is now valued at $9 billion. So I love the idea.
I am slacking.
I just love the idea. I think she's a great example for, she's science. She's a great example. I don't like the idea that she dropped out of college because I would totally lie to my kids about the dropping out of college. Oh, what's going on?
I think Steve just turned on the faucet outside.
Interesting.
Rude.
I like the science women as good examples for girls.
That's good because we can be smart and beautiful.
I will lie to my daughter, though, and I won't tell her about the dropping out of college part.
There you go. Wait, what if she Googles?
Well, she will, and she'll tell me I'm lying.
All right, are you ready for Hollywood happenings?
Yeah.
Okay, a Full House.
Yeah, I know exactly who John Stamos is.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
He's still hot.
He is.
And he's like, what?
Even
how old?
with the mullet.
51 years old?
Even with a mullet.
I know. He was like the only person who could do a mullet.
Oh, and he could do Elvis. Mm-hmm. And I have always been an Elvis fan. And
me too. Like, oh my God, I love me some Elvis.
So, I was a little worried when he got divorced from Rebecca Romijn, because I was like, ooh, what if he likes boys? Because all the pretty ones end up liking boys. And that was Janet's brain, because he's really an amazing looking man, and for him and a amazing looking woman to not live happily ever after, my brain went there. Anyway, so obviously that is not the case, because he has been very candid about his love life and his experiences for, he's been a part of a new book by Family Guy and the New Normal writer Ali Adler, titled How to F a Woman. Are you going to read that book?
I don't know.
I know, right? I'm like, wait, am I encouraging bad behavior by reading that book?
No.
Maybe.
Although I'm a little concerned for him, because my experience has been the men who really talk about how great they are usually not that good.
Come on, Carrie.
Although we can still believe that he is, but I
can't. You just did it again. Planted a seed.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, Mr. John Stamos.
But think about it. Haven't you ever been with a man who talks about how great he is, and then you find out he's really not?
Yes. Yes, I have.
It's the quiet ones that don't...
Right. And then you're like, bam! Wow.
I know. Yep.
So he revealed that a lot of women ask for after sexy time selfies He stated that he approaches sex in a musical way. I don't know. He says, I'm 51 years old. I've had some experiences, but it's all about listening, asking, talking. Maybe some girls are afraid of communicating, he says, but I find most aren't. If you ask, does it feel good? Or listen to her body like an instrument. Mm-hmm. This is kind of comical.
It's extremely comical. He also doesn't realize that there's a lot of women who are not empowered sexually and will just say, yeah, that feels so good.
They'll lie.
That's so good.
Uncle Jessie.
It's like in, Harry Met Sally. We all know how to do that whole...
Faking.
Yeah.
He says with him, it's more rhythm than melody with a woman, but it's all listening. When music clicks, you can feel it. You have to listen to other musicians. With women, you have to listen to their bodies. However, Stamos took to Twitter to share his only true advice when it comes to lovemaking. It's a good one. By the way, the only true advice I have, introduce donuts into your lovemaking. Yes, please. I love that idea. Donuts make everything wonderful.
Have you ever seen the website? It's called something like Shit Cosmo Says.
No.
It's hilarious.
It makes fun of Cosmo?
Oh my God, it is so hilarious. And it's making fun of Cosmo, but actual things that Cosmo has published in the magazine.
I can only imagine.
And one is hilarious. So I had to do this because I wrote about this for the last blog. So I had to try it because it was hilarious. But it was introducing donuts into
How?
Sex.
How?
Well, it's introducing donuts into a blowjob.
Oh. That makes sense now.
And actually, donut holes are small, so you have to kind of cut it out. So you get to eat some of the donut before. But, it was so funny because I bring the donut into bed, and he...
You did this?
No! He grabbed the donut and said, thanks, baby, and he ate it. And I'm like, we were going to do something with that because I think that food used in sex is calorie-free.
It is.
Right? I'm positive that it absolutely is. So I was disappointed that I didn't get to eat the donut. But
wow.
Yeah, you have to check out Shit Cosmo Says because it is so funny.
I
and
will
some
have
of
to check that out.
All the different sex advice, and the funniest is that Cosmo's sex advice comes from
men,
women.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Are we sure?
Yeah.
Are we sure?
Yep. They might have moved up, but most of it comes from, and really, men don't want 150 tricks in bed. They really don't.
They just want to get to the goal, right?
Yeah. Give me a good blowjob or have sex. I'm good.
They're very basic, just like we think they are.
They're wonderful
right?
and simple. I love how wonderfully simple men are. I do. We're complicated.
I love getting to know you more. So let's have some question and answer fun. Ready?
Okay.
What makes you laugh the most?
Life. Just life. I find something amusing in everything about life. Even sometimes when you have to go back and look at it, you can find the irony, you can find the humor. And sometimes it's all about if you don't laugh, you'll cry.
I'm kind of in a work situation like that right now. Things are really chaotic. They're exciting. It's new. There's lots of fun stuff going on. Mm-hmm. But it's so out of our comfort zone that it's chaotic. And we just keep telling each other, if we don't laugh about the chaos, we're going to go insane.
Right.
And I think it'll all end up good.
Funny.
Yes, life is very funny. What was the last movie that you went to?
We already talked about it. It was Cinderella.
What did you want to be when you were small? This
actually really surprises people, but I wanted to design wedding dresses. I really, really wanted to design wedding gowns.
Pause for shock.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I wanted to be a fashion designer, and I still draw. I do. I still draw, and I still get, and so...
Can you sew?
Yeah. When I went to Girl Scouts.
I didn't, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I was a Girl Scout.
I like Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah, Girl Scout cookies are the bomb. I love Girl Scout cookies. I had to take my Girl Scout cookies to work because otherwise I would sit there and eat a whole entire box. No problem. And I try freezing them too because thinking, it doesn't take that long to thaw it out. Plus there's microwaves.
Right.
So I don't know what makes me think if I freeze it, I'm not going to eat the whole box. But yeah, I wanted to be, and then once I got a little bit older and discovered writing, I went back and forth between the two. I either wanted to be a fashion designer, mainly wedding gowns, like high-end wedding gowns, or writer. And I still go back and forth between expressing myself artistically or expressing myself with word. So, but yeah, I wanted to be probably when I was in 5th, 6th grade, I saw myself living in London, designing fancy wedding gowns and...
I used to want to be an architect. I'd draw house plans.
I used to draw house plans too.
With like waterfalls and like
crazy houses I would never be able to live in.
I will be an architect one day and I will build these houses for famous rich people.
Yep.
That's funny. All right, we have to cover this last story because it kind of is relevant to our podcast.
So what's a little arsenic in your wine?
Right. Your favorite wine might actually be toxic. And I have an update. I send Carrie notes every time she's getting ready to be on my podcast. And they came out with a list of these wines. Okay, so first, it came from CBS. A new study revealed that some of the most popular wine brands might actually contain high levels of arsenic. Since there are almost no labeling requirements for consumer wine, which I did not know that. Did you know that?
No.
Okay.
I still don't care, actually.
And of course, a Denver laboratory called Beverage Grades decided to find out what's really in the drink. They tested 1,300 bottles of wine and found that almost a quarter had arsenic levels higher than the EPA limit for drinking water. Among the bottles with alarmingly high arsenic were Trader Joe's 2-Buck Chuck. Have you tried that?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it is.
I'm sure I'll still drink it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me too. Let's see. Some of the others that were released today, we have Cook's Spumante wine. Cupcakes Malbec wine. So not
Yeah, I don't drink the
ours.
Malbec. I'm not a big Malbec fan.
The one that hit me in the gut was Flip Flops wine.
But there were some flip-flops that did fine on the testing.
4 of the flip-flops didn't. The
Or
Pinot
maybe
Grigio, which I drank.
Barefoot wine did okay.
Yeah, Barefoot's not on this list.
Yeah.
So that's good. But flip-flop, we have the Pinot Grigio, the Moscato, the Cabernet, and the Sauvignon.
How about the red Moscato?
It doesn't say.
Good, because that's the one I drink.
Is that the one you drink? Well, good luck, because I'm all about the Pinot Grigio. I love the white
It hasn't
stuff.
killed me yet, so I'm kind of okay
small
with
levels.
this.
And let's see, Sutter Home, practically all of them. Sauvignon Blanc, the Pink Moscato, the Pinot Grigio, the Moscato, the Chenin Blanc, the Sweet Red, the Riesling, the White Merlot, the Merlot, and the White Zinfandel. So stay away from Sutter Home.
I don't like Sutter Home wine anyway.
I don't either, but it's one of those popular wines, especially for the budget conscious.
That's very budget conscious, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, isn't it like a gallon jug for like $4 or something?
It is. It's very budget conscious. I haven't drank it since college.
The winos drink it. They're the ones who should probably worry about the arsenic.
What's your definition of a wino?
More than we drink?
Okay.
More than me or you, or even more than Teresa drinks.
Wow.
We should call her.
We should. So we mentioned you, and you need to listen, and fun times.
Here, join in.
Yes.
What do you have to say about this? We've decided you're not. Well, because she likes vodka.
She does. She does. And she likes your red velvet cupcake wine.
Isn't that good?
It really is.
It's not too sweet. And
it gets me a little tipsy fast, though.
Even if it showed up on the list, though,
I would still drink it, too. I'm not going to not drink flip-flop wine. But
you're talking... I work in a lab where we have an electron microscope, and I've seen what's in hot dogs on an electron microscope.
I love hot dogs. Stop.
I still love them.
Okay.
I still eat them.
Scared me.
Yep, and I would go look at it right now, and I would go look at it and eat my hot dog.
Well, the study concluded that the lower the price of the wine, the greater the likelihood for dangerous amounts of arsenic. The Wine Group, a popular wine distributor, pointed out to CBS the EPA's arsenic limits apply only to drinking water. So, after all, most people drink way more water than wine. Most people.
Most.
So those measurements don't apply the same.
Teresa does? No.
Do
Dear Lord.
T squared is out of control. I've lost control of this podcast.
I just miss her. I haven't seen her in a while, so I have to pick on her.
I haven't either.
When is she going to be on again?
She is going to be on later this month. We talked recently, and I believe it's next week. Hold on. Wait. Yeah, it's next week.
Cool.